Now this brings us to reproduction. And most reproduction happens in fresh water. A few can handle the brackish water, but none of them are in seawater. Almost all of the frogs live in tropical rainforests, and their eggs hatch directly into miniature versions of the adult. And so they don't go through the tadpole stage within, or they don't have the tadpole stage that's outside of the egg. Their tadpole stage is within the egg. But regardless of whether they're adapted for dry environments or wet environments, they still need water to lay their eggs. Their larvae, which we call tadpoles or polywogs, they breathe with exterior gills, and they will transform after hatching into the adult's appearance. It's called metamorphosis, and then once they transform into the adults, they become terrestrial. With their metamorphosis, the most obvious thing that you see is they start to sprout these forelegs. Their gills are going to be replaced by lungs, and the skin will change and develop glands so that they don't dry out. Their eyes develop eyelids, and they can adapt to vision outside of the water. And then their eardrum is developed to lock the middle ear, and their tail disappears in frogs and toads. And you see there in the first one, you just got little buds where the legs might show up. But then in the second one, you can see the hind legs have shown up. And then the third one, you got all four legs, and then the tail disappears. Their reproduction is variable. It can be internal or external fertilization. Some of them lay eggs. They're oviparous. Some of them lay eggs that don't have a shell. They're amniotic. An in front of the word means without. Instead, they just have gel around them. The aquatic larval form breathe by gills, and the larvae are herbivores, although some can be omnivores or carnivores. And the larval stage can last anywhere from 10 days to 20 plus years. Now, I told you we talk about amplexus a little bit more. You've got the smaller male that gets on the female's back, and the front legs press on the female, and the back legs will rub her back, and this stimulates the female to lay eggs. He then releases his sperm, which is called milt, and fertilization occurs outside her body, and then the fertilized eggs are dropped into the water. Here you've got multiple males fertilizing the released eggs. For defense, this blue poison dart frog releases toxins from its skin that can be lethal for would-be predators. There are 3 species of these poison dart frogs that are very dangerous. They will hide or be very still if there's danger, and of course they'll camouflage themselves. They have warning calls to tell other members of their population there's danger. Some of the salamanders and frogs will arch their backs, stiffen, and rock on their bellies in danger. And others will flash colors to warn predators to stay away. Several of the amphibians have toxic skins, so the predators learn to avoid them. Some of them will mimic those toxic species so that they're not eaten. And some of the salamanders, their tail breaks off when they're attacked. They are very important because some cultures use them for food as well as for their beauty and for getting the arrow poison from the poison darts. But they also tell a lot about the environment because any kind of contaminants or changes can cause diseases and death of these organisms, and so it's easy to watch the amphibian population to see what's going on with the environment. And in some areas, even though they are very pristine areas and undisturbed, there aren't any amphibians that live there anymore.